friends, my name is Joey Balestrieri. Welcome to my channel. Look what I just got in the mail from Dee Beads. I am so excited because I literally had just finished, let me pull this in, I literally just finished this gorgeous boho bracelet with some of the stringing materials that I ordered from the Dee Beads website. I had some sari silk ribbon and some cotton waxed cord and some ballerina cording and some just a bunch of things that I just did in an order from Dee Beads. And this is a boho chic wrap bracelet, like a layering bracelet for the fall. And I just finished it. I was just finished editing and I got the mail. And my Dee Beads little package for the month was in and more. She's got a special going on the website. I've got that over here. I'll show you what that is. But also our third collaboration box is ready to go. And I received that as well. So that's going to be in a video after this one. But I just want to give you a heads up to check my community section of my channel and check Dee Beads Facebook group page, because that's where we'll announce when the video to reveal and to create is going to go up on YouTube and when those will be for sale on the Dee Beads website. But I have 4 of these beautiful strands here, and I'm just going to pull in my iPad. I hope that, you know, the camera on the screen won't be too difficult for you to see, but I wanted to show you her beautiful website. This is the Inspire by Czech designer strands, and she does the most amazing job. Each one is named, and so like there's this one Elephantine Garden, and it has these beautiful little blue Czech glass elephants as a feature. There's the Lavender Fields, which I believe, did I get a Lavender Fields? I was trying to look to see, I got Beach Haven and Olive and Merlot, but these are just absolutely beautiful. I got this one, the Sweet Delight. It's my favorite. I love that. So her website is just fabulous. And let me just let me show you another thing right here. If you can see this, Dee Mystery grab bags and bundles. If you tap on that on her website, she has this special all about beading bundle. And these are limited stock. She's trying to clear out seed beads. And so she's doing a free gift with each of the little bundles. And I got one of those. So this is just so much fun. That's what's in here. So I'll start with that since I have it in my hand. I love seed beads. And if you've been on my channel for like 2 seconds, I'm sure you've heard me say what workhorses in design seed beads are. But also I find that even when I have a beautiful box that's, you know, curated, or a collection of beads, or just anything pretty much, I reach for seed beads as fillers if I need to extend the length of a strand, or, you know, just make a piece lighter but still get some length, add a different color, add an accent color. I mean, even this bracelet is a case in point. I went in for 6/0 seed beads, which I added in with a curated box, and I got this beautiful accent, but I really needed those seed beads to, you know, finish off this look. So they're just really workhorses in design, and she has some beautiful ones. Let's see what's in my little bundle. Oh my, look at these. These are gorgeous. This is a silver lined like orange, and it looks like it is a Toho seed bead maybe. It's really uniform. Can you see the shimmer? I mean, it is a tiny bead, but they shimmer. Bring in that is just a beautiful little bead. I'm just going to bring in a little dish here so that I can just put a few of each of my little bundle of seed beads out here for you to look at. This is a little mix. I'm not gonna, well, I guess I can take a few of these out, but I absolutely love these mixes for quite a few things. And one of them is to make bookmarkers. When you have a little mix like this, that is so cool for the part of your stringing that will lay inside the pages of a book. They're really small, but they're just wonderful. They add color and sparkle. That is just absolutely a beautiful little mix that looks like there's pink lined, purple lined, several different greens. That is just gorgeous. And then this is the same as the orange, but this is in like a periwinkle blue. Look at this bead, you guys. That is so beautiful. I'm gonna put him over here. Let me move my beautiful strands. As you might know, I have already been designing in my head with these strands. I cannot wait. I already have a really cool project in mind for that. This is the little free gift. We'll open that. And there are these gorgeous turquoise. These are like the color of Sleeping Beauty turquoise, but they are silver lined, so you get a lot of shimmer from those. Love that. This little guy jumped out. And then there is one of my favorite colors for the fall. These are, oh, they are Toho. I think these are 8-0 Toho rounds, and these are semi-glazed in lemongrass / a prickly pear. I love the names. But this neutralized green is so beautiful for fall to mix in with the browns and golds and oranges that we use in the fall. It is just wonderful. I just love having those. And then this is one of my favorite seed beads of all time. I am constantly replenishing this in my stash. These are 11-0 Miyuki seed beads. So it's a Japanese seed bead. They're really uniform, but the wonderful thing, this is the gold color that's called champagne, and it is Duracoat galvanized. And what that means is that this will not darken and tarnish. You can, if you are doing a weaving project, if you're using these as spacers, they stay this color, and I absolutely love that. And I use these like crazy. I reach for them all the time in lieu of metal spacers because it gives you that metallic presence in your bead stringing or in your pattern that you're making, but you don't have the heaviness of metal and you don't have to worry about tarnish. I absolutely love that. And then this is something else that I love. My friend Stella at DD Beads, I guess she really knows me by now, but this is a honeycomb 6mm bead, and it's a jet etch bead. This is so gorgeous, and I tell you, she is famous for her unusual shapes. So I got one that's damaged. That's okay. She is famous for finding cool bead shapes that are really unusual. Look at this little bead, you guys, and it's a 2-hole bead. The package does not say that, but I thought that it was. Look at this. I love 2-hole beads. I have an entire playlist on the homepage of my channel for designs with 2-hole beads, and most of my designs are not bead weaving seed beader patterns. They are for other jewelry techniques. So a lot of times people get caught up thinking that seed beads and 2-hole beads are just for bead weavers, and if you don't do that, because that is a very specific type of jewelry making, and if you don't do that, I think sometimes it's easy to overlook the possibilities in these types of beads. But don't do that. And I can actually put a link to my 2-hole bead playlist in the description box of this video. It is really, if you need ideas with 2-hole beads, it's one of my favorite things, so I come up with a lot of ideas. So that is my little seed bead bundle that I got, and then this was my little free gift, and it's a small bag, but it is mighty, and this is such a pretty bead. This is a little Czech glass struck. It looks like it's a 4mm, and I got a whole little bag of them to work with, and it's in this beautiful like fall orange. Oh my goodness, it goes with the other Czech glass beads that I've already been working with this month, so I might even add in some earrings or something to go with some of the things that I've already made. But this is just absolutely a wonderful little pack. If you need to build up your supplies of seed beads just to have, because I have collected over the years the different sizes and organized them, and I have Delicas and Tohos, and just I kind of know what I would use different things for, but they are just workhorses in design. So check out DD Beads if you need to build up your stash or replenish your stash of seed beads. Well, I'm going to set that out of the way, and we are going to jump into these gorgeous strands. So this one has this really beautiful like plum, it's like a really rich plum Czech glass flower with this gorgeous, this is one of my favorite flowers in the Czech glass line because of the dimension of it. And then this is such a gorgeous shape. As I just said, Stella is kind of famous for finding wonderful shaped beads. She is also really good at kind of creating the pattern. And so I always say this, I mean, I never do it, but I always feel this when I get things from her. When she has put together a strand like this, you could just string this. You could take it off of this cord and put it on bead stringing material, or you could do a beaded chain just in the order that she has designed it. And this could so easily be a stunning bracelet, or go for a necklace. You know, make it the focal on a necklace, add some chain or some leather, and it's one and done. I mean, she has done the work for you, and I just absolutely love the beads that she finds. And she knows that I love gold better than any of the metals. Copper's my second favorite. So when she and I work together and when she sends me things, I notice that she always picks out like the pops of gold and copper and just punctuates the things she's doing for me that way. And I just love it. So that's my first strand. I think this is my favorite of all of them. But the project I'm going to make, I'm actually going to borrow a little bit from each of the strands, I think. But look at this cool bead. It's almost like a contemporary heart or a shield. It has etching on both sides, and there are two of them on this strand, but each one is a little bit different. It's just that beautiful like fire glass that's swirled inside. You can look deeply in the glass and see that there's more happening encased in the clear part. And then the finishes, it has a Picasso wash on top of all of that. I am crazy about these little Czech glass coin beads. They're like a little starburst. They are table cut, so you have this like really glassy smooth side, and then they have the Picasso wash on top of the table cutting, and you can see through them a little bit. It's like a little window. It's so wonderful. This is one of my favorite flower beads of all time, and she's done a cool thing on this strand where she strung them together face to face so they look like a little saucer. But they are so dimensional. I love to put things on the inside and just have like a surprise coming out of the middle of this bead. And this is my favorite color in the world, is this blush pink. I just love it. And it's opaque. It has that stunning gold wash, so you see all the detail of the flower, all the veining. It's just beautiful. And then look at this bead, you guys. Isn't that the coolest bead? It is a table cut bead, and it has this like little cutout in the middle, and I believe there are two of them on this strand. And I also love these fluted Czech glass melon beads. Those are wonderful. I absolutely love this whole strand. And look at this little teardrop bead, and this color combination of this kind of earthy like coffee cream color with the pinks and the teal, teal kind of slash dark turquoise. Just absolutely gorgeous. This is my very favorite strand. And again, if you're feeling creatively blocked and you just need to make something, if you get one or two of these strands and just make it, just string it up, put a beautiful clasp on it, create a little charm, and look at that. I mean, it's just amazing. So that's my second strand. And then this one was called Beach Haven, I think. Look at the dimension in this little Czech glass flower. It's just variegated from these kind of coffee colors into an opaque cream, and then into a little bit of that watercolor blue, all washed with gold. It's just beautiful. I love the tiny little disc spacers that appear on this strand. I love these little sea sediment jasper in this turquoise color. They look to be center drilled. These are going to show up in another place, a little hint, and I'm excited to use those. I have such a fun idea for something to do with those, and I can't wait. I actually think I'm going to do it in this project as well as one coming up, because I'm kind of enthused about it. But I love that she dots the patterns with crystals, and these are just wonderful. This color, oh my goodness, these are little Czech glass conch shells, and they have an AB finish on them. But this actually looks like if you were walking on the beach and this was shimmering under the water. That's what it looks like to me. Absolutely beautiful. And then this one is gorgeous. I have this, so there's another one of these. This is just so dimensional, this Czech glass. I think this is a hibiscus flower. And then look how cool this is. This is the same flower here, but instead of in the blues, it's in like those sagey greens, those mossy greens. So I love that. I love getting the same bead, the same flower in different colorways and then putting them together. It's really stunning. It just makes such a beautiful design. I just love it. And look at these are little Czech glass discs in that Merlot color on this strand. And I also love the little cube beads. That's something else that Stella excels at. She knows that in design we need little accents, we need spacers and discs, we need these cool shapes, and she's always great about including those in her strands, in her boxes and things. So I applaud her for her design expertise that she puts into her pieces. So I am going to cut these open and kind of lay out what I'm going to make today. It'll just be a second for you. Okay, I have a sweet little jewelry set, my favorite things to make, earrings and bracelet, and my favorite things to wear. And as I always say, if you are blocked a little bit with creativity, get some of these Czech glass strands or the Czech glass bundles. Stella does an amazing job, and I just had so much fun just cutting those strands apart, and I've already come up with a sweet little fun design, fun to make and to wear, and even a great gift. So I'm going to start with 49 strand bead stringing wire from Softflex. It's the pink tourmaline, and I have taken a number 2 crimp tube and crimped the end with a little loop. I'll show you on the other end how I did that. And I've kind of worked out a little pattern here. I'm going to start stringing, and then I'll talk to you about the dimension that I've added as my stringing project goes along. So I did cut open all the strands but one and kind of borrowed things. That's the amazing thing about Czech glass, is that you find that the finishes and the colors coordinate so easily, and this Picasso wash that they commonly do on Czech glass just kind of unifies a design. So what I did here is kind of stacked. I love stacking disc beads. The wavy one, this little hematite plated one, and then another wavy one. So you get like this cool, almost like you almost created a little bead. And I love these coin beads. So both of these have gone into my pattern. And I just kind of separated what I was doing here by those discs. So my pattern looks like that. And then what I did with the sea sediment jasper sticks is I took one of the ball head pins I just had in my stash, and I just did simple loops, and I did an odd number. I did 5 of them because I like working in odd numbers. And I am going to thread those just randomly right onto my material here. When I crimp the other end, I will make sure that I don't, crimp it so tight that these don't move. But isn't that cool? You really see the natural beauty of those sticks, and you get like almost like a dimensional bead in your stringing. And I typically do this with flowers, but on this one I opted to kind of do the opposite and not do it with flowers. Okay, now gold bead, and I want that gold bead to sit in the middle of that flower, and then I want just a little separation with that gold disc, and I'm going to string this flower back to back with the other one, and then put another, come back, put another gold bead, and then let's see, then my fluted teardrop, and it's going to be facing the opposite direction, and another one of these gold beads, and then I want a disc right up against the coin bead, I think. Let's see. Yes, I like that. And then I'm going to do that same disc stack with a wavy and the little thicker disc. And I want this, I'm stringing these so that, if you notice, so that these two are facing each other, and then my two fluted teardrops are going away from each other. I just like that alternation. And so, like I said, I'm not going to string this really, really tight because I do want my little sediment sticks to kind of move around. And then I just added in a few more of those to finish off my length, and they look so great with one of these wavy discs in between. I love the way you can create the most wonderful shapes with beads and bead shapes and disc spacers. So there is my little stringing pattern. I really love it. I love the colors. I love this dusty pink with the different shades of turquoise. It's beautiful. And what I decided to do, I saved out a few little things here with a flower head pin that I had from my stash and just made a little dangle that's going to go on the toggle. I'm using those same head pins to make a really cool pair of coordinating earrings. These are left over, and from my stash I just got these pave toggle clasps, and they came with an extender chain. I don't know if I'll need the extender chain. I might just take that off and add in jump rings, but I'm gonna get that number 2 crimp tube on here again and make a loop and go back through it and just check my spacing and my rigidity, make sure it's not rigid. And I'm going to do another magical crimp, and you can definitely do a fold over crimp method here if you prefer that, if you don't have the magical crimping plier or you don't care for it. But it's my favorite way to crimp, and it's really, I don't know, it just makes like a little bead at the end of my project, and I love that. If it's possible, I don't know if it will be, let me see. Sometimes, oh look, if I can, I love to feed my bead stringing wire down through a few beads, and on the first end it was not possible, but look at that. My bead stringing wire goes nicely through those natural stones, and that is wonderful. Let's see. Use my pliers to help me and pull it through. That is wonderful. I think it looks nicer to trim away your cut wire down away from the clasp. It's just something I try to do. It's not always possible, but when it is, I really like the way it looks. I'll take it. Okay. And I also try to match my loop on the other end. It does not need to be a large loop. So let's check the rigidity or lack thereof. With the coin beads, they need a little bit of space, and also these little sticks are going to spin on those ball head pins, and also, I mean, sometimes they will line up, but I want to have a little bit of movement in this little mini cluster section there. I like that. Just check and make sure. And before I commit to my crimp, I like to check my length, so that's going to be perfect once I put my jump rings and my clasp on. So I am ready to crimp. So I'm using the magical crimping plier. I'm just going to fit that crimp tube into the well or divot. There's only one in this plier. When I feel that it's in the center, I'm going to close the tool. I've pinched all 4 corners, turn it in the opposite direction, and then you just open and close and go around and around until you feel that you have made a little bead out of that tube. And you know, it's a really, really small, it's a number 2 crimp tube. So it's a really, really small bead that it creates. And if you are not happy with it, or if it's too small for your design, you can always come in and put a crimp cover, like a normal fold over crimp cover, right on top of that. And sometimes I do go back and do that when the clasp is on, if I think that the bead just looks, you know, the crimp bead just looks too small. But what I love about the magical crimping plier is that a non-jewelry maker cannot tell how this bracelet is constructed and held together, because that looks like a little bead at the end of your project. It doesn't look like it's doing a function. So I really love that. And so I'm going to grab some jump rings that I have made. I tend to take 20 gauge wire with an anti-tarnish coating, and I make all sizes. I use my bail making pliers, and I just keep them, when I'm making them for a project, I make extras and keep them in a little jar, and then I know that these won't tarnish, and I know that they close really well because I made them. They do get a little bit tangled up though. I want two the same size. There we go. I have two different bail making pliers that I use for this, just depending, and you can see I have done all millimeters, so I can do like jump ring art with my bracelet art. Okay, let's see if I need to cut this chain away. I just got these toggle clasps, and they are so beautiful. I mean, I just got them, so I know where I got them, so I can link them below. I was checking to see if this chain, if I could just open the link, but I'm going to snip it. And I will save this because this is a nice little extender chain if you need it for another project. And let's get our toggle attached. And when you add a toggle like this, for me, I usually start out with just one jump ring on the T-bar end, but if you find that it's not closing nicely, you can always go back and add a jump ring, because a T-bar needs a little space to turn sideways and go in. Now this one looks like it's going to be just fine, but that is an option. And I just love that this moves, that this little section twists and turns, and that little gold bead is peeking through. I love the disc beads. I love the fluted beads together. This is absolutely a gorgeous bracelet. So I am going to add the charm to it, and I'm also, for sure, with that pave clasp, I am going to use my Permalac anti-tarnish coating. And the cool thing about this is you can brush it over pave crystals like this, and it does not cloud them. They will still sparkle, but it keeps that metal, because it's plated, it's gold plated, I believe, but it's still, it still will tarnish eventually because of touching the oils on your skin, and the plating, will not stay forever. So it is just a step that I do, and I'll also brush all of my little discs with that. I'll go through my whole piece wherever I have metal, including the little balls on my head pins, because they're just fashion jewelry head pins. So I will do that. It doesn't take very long to dry, but first I want to make the little dangle, and I'm just using my one-step looper and that cute. Before I do this, let me just show you. These are the cutest head pins. They're little flowers, and I just got those. I know where I got them. I can link them below. And I just borrowed a disc and the crystals and the things from the strands that I cut apart, and just made this lovely little charm, because I always feel like I need to do a little embellishment on my pieces, just that little extra step of quality. And also, you can open and close your simple loops for this kind of a thing, but I need to make that a bit shorter. Sometimes I have to do a little adjustment, but I am going to get out another jump ring, because I just like the movement that a jump ring creates in a, in a dangle, just the way that it hangs. And I generally put it on the toggle end just because I want the other end free. This is the end that you have to turn sideways and put it in and out. And the other thing that I do, I'm going to take a larger size this time. Come out. Okay, I'm going to take a larger size this time and show you my little connecting trick. I do this all the time, so if you've been around my channel, I'm sure you've seen this, but I'm going to open this jump ring, and rather than connect through this loop, I am going to go around the circumference of my bead stringing material and then add my charm and then close it. So no matter which way I pick up this bracelet to put it on, and no matter what I'm doing with my hand, that charm spins 360 degrees around. It will never be stuck. Whether I clasp my bracelet this way or whether I opt to go this way, I always will have the beauty of that charm not kinked to one side or the other of the bracelet. It's a really good little trick. I always do it when I'm doing like knotted techniques, but it works really great for even strong techniques because it just goes however you need it to go. So I will do the Permalac coating off camera, but that will get done for sure. Let me clean up my few little leftovers here and show you this cool pair of earrings. I am literally, I put away a bead that I need. I am literally going to take one of these gold-plated head pins and feed it through the center of this flower. Look how gorgeous it looks in the middle of the flower. And then I am going to bend it straight up, just like that, and then feed on this little bead. It just makes the earring look just as pretty on the back as it does on the front. And then I'm going to take my pliers, something on the end of my plier. I'm going to take my pliers, and this is the front of my earring, so I'm going to get the head pin right where it's coming out of that bead, just a little bit above, and I'm going to give it like a 45-degree bend toward the front, just like that. And then I'm going to use the same bail making plier that I love for jump rings. This is my favorite plier for jump rings. These are the two sizes that I use the most, but I can also like make a really nice long coil if I want to make a lot of jump rings at one time. So I'm going to do that. And then I am going to put this plier right where I made that bend. Let me turn it this way so you can see. Get that. So let that bead fall down there. And right where I made that little bend, I'm going to put that plier in there. And just make sure that it's lined up, that it's facing front. I'm using the smaller barrel by doing it this way. And I'm just going to push that wire over that barrel and almost like touching the back. And I'm not trimming anything away. I'm using the entire length of the head pin. And then I like to use a flat nose plier because this dimension right here gives the perfect little shape of just kick that out. So it's just, you're just making an ear wire. You get a hold of it. Just kick it out like that. And so now your bead moves, your little bead here, your decorative bead, it moves, but because of the way we've bent the wire, it won't come off. And the flower has a little bit of movement as well, but that little pair of earrings is done. And if you guys have not tried this, I have done a couple of videos where I showed this before, but if you have not tried making an earring with just a head pin, these floral ones are beautiful, but a ball head pin works as well. If you have not tried this, give it a try. It is so fun. It's those couple of little bins. It's one and done. They sit in your piercing just beautifully, and it's really fun. And if you do craft shows or if you have gifts to make, it is a really great way to make a lot of things really fast. And I'll just show you how quickly. I'll just bring in my little dish here and get my Permalac coating. This is my habit, but these are plated head pins, so I'm just going to brush that over that head pin, and I'll even do the post part of it, and the little bead, and you don't see this at all. And if you accidentally brush the Czech glass bead, like if you accidentally touch it, it disappears. It dries really fast. And I don't have metal allergies, but I have a friend that uses this, and she can wear like fashion jewelry when she coats with the Permalac. So I'd love to know if that works for any of you that do have metal allergies, just so that I can answer questions about it. I don't have them, so I don't even have to do that, and I can still wear my earrings. But if you're using this to be able to put fashion jewelry metal in your ears and it works for you, I would love to hear from you. So this beautiful little set is done that quickly. I highly encourage you to visit the DD Beads website and check out her, no pun intended, check out her Czech beads. She does an amazing job with her strands. Her website is colorful and animated and very well organized. Most things are in limited quantities, limited editions, because she is a family-owned and operated business, a woman-owned business, small business, like all the things that we love to support. So I highly encourage you to do that. I do have a discount code that is good on most things, like about 80% of the things on the website. Generally, it's marked at the top of a page if those things are not eligible for a discount, but I can put that code in the description box if you are a first-time customer, and depending on what you're interested in getting, you may be able to get a discount. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, tap the bell notification, because I am almost ready to start the video and the reveal for my third collaboration box with DD Beads, and it's really good, you guys. It's so much fun. It's so beautiful, and we have a couple of special things in this box, actually a few special things. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. Ciao, jewelry making friends.